Good morning, traders. Today is Monday, November 7th. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. All right, well, what I think we're looking at here today is the beginning of a balance area. What is a balance area? A balance area is a range where the market will tend to trade up and down inside of before it's ready to break one direction or another. So let me just zoom out here for a little bit and kind of look at this area where we've got trade taking place. Okay, so we came down last week. We made a higher low on Friday. Okay, that's a sign that the momentum to the downside is over. So we don't have any momentum to the downside. Check. That's the first reason to think we may need balance. No more excess. Excess leads to balance. Okay. Second reason is the fact that the area where we found resistance yesterday, where we could not, or on Friday, where we could not push any higher, that was a very weird location because we left behind some single prints that needed backfilling. And so it was just kind of really weird that the market would randomly lose momentum and then start heading down there. And then, oh, look, they did it once again in the overnight at the exact same level. So that to me is just all kind of signals that the market might need to spend a few days kind of cooling off here. So I'm looking for this area here to become the balance area high, somewhere around the 3810s. Okay, so we'd be looking for the market today to poke above yesterday's high. If it pokes above yesterday's high and it doesn't find support there and it starts to pull back into yesterday's range, that to me would mean we are likely looking at a balance area high, and I'd be looking to target down towards yesterday's lows, towards Friday's lows. Okay, purely as a balance area play. However, if we can push above yesterday's high and find support there, we can look for continuation to the upside as new momentum is beginning to build. Okay, so that's looking at the ES. And then just quickly jumping over and looking at the NQ, exact same thing. The fact that they dipped below Thursday's low, looked below and failed and pulled back above on Friday, and then we're opening up here, again, just feels like a balance area to me. So same exact thing with the NQ here. We're looking to test Friday's high. Once we push above there, can we find support for continuation to the upside? If not, I'd be looking for the market to sell back down. Okay. Both markets opening inside the previous day's range. So until we test yesterday's high, as long as we remain inside the previous day's range, we're looking for chop, for the market to just grind up and down here and really only pick a direction if it can get above yesterday's high. The low price of the day being the opening price makes it weak as well, increasing the odds of chop. All right, and passing back through the open, the chop has begun. So now we just watch support and resistance. Does resistance hold? So right now that is the halfback at 37.96. If so, we head back down looking for the next support, 37.88. Then we head back up and so on and so forth. And we just chop it up. All right. So first potential support, this little note of volume right around 37.88. Can that hold? Mateus, no tick on Thinkorswim. Is it down again? It appears to be down once again. What's up, Thinkorswim? All the internals are down again. Come on, baby. Get it together. All right, that first support is breaking. So we're looking to head down towards 37.80, looking for support there. As we chop it up in the chop zone. Choppity chop. The good news is the internals are not very helpful in a chop zone anyway. Tick is down on trade of 8 too. Really? Really? Then that leaves just the one. Yep, they're working on trading view. I'd say is maybe a dingo ate the ticks. All right, so once again, we got some potential support here around 37.80. Can it hold? Head back up to test the halfback at 37.90. $64 likes, 149 people hanging out. Smash that thumbs up. Purdy, please. I sure would appreciate it. Screwball, new selling at the lows. Kind of. I mean, it's just a chop zone, right? So it's a lot of just random two-sided trade here. Half the people think it's going to go up, half think it's going to go down. If they break below 37.68, below this node here, then I'll start to get real bearish. But for now, just chop. Like I said, it feels like a balance area. Spending a day rotating around in yesterday's range would seem very doable to me. All right, so they're finding support here, so we should head back up to test the resistance. First potential resistance, 37.89 at the halfback. We didn't actually technically hit halfback, so we still have not tested it. But for now, the resistance is holding. Yeah, it's unusual they won't just let it test the halfback. There we go. All right, so we're looking for sellers here. If we do get sellers, it is a sign of momentum to the downside. If we push right back through the open once again, more chop. But if we have chop down, come back up to the halfback, get resistance there, and then continue lower, it is a sign we are building momentum lower. So can this resistance hold, or do we get more chop? All right, we made it to 100 likes. Bow, bow, bow. Thank you, guys. Unfortunately, I'm still just chop zoning it up over here. Okay, that is bearish to see, though. Normally, if the market wants to just keep chopping around, they pass right through that halfback. So finding resistance there is a little bit bearish. Now let's head back down and test the support once again. Nap is Friday's low pour? I don't think so. No, it's a good low. All right, so we're testing the halfback once again. Looking for resistance here. That same large seller hasn't had a chance to fully fill. You know the market loves to go where the liquidity is waiting. All right, tick starting to break the zero line. That is a sign that there is no bullish momentum and that the sellers are starting to take control. So now we're going to test the support and see if it can hold. More chop. This market wants to stay in a very tight range. Michael, the daily candles look mildly bullish, but with no news to ignite market emotions, I expect below average range. Lots of chop. Yeah, that's what I was pointing to earlier. So the fact that the momentum to the downside is over, we get that signal from the higher low and the higher high of yesterday. To me, the more probable thing is just sideways. I mean, just look at this area that we're in right now. What a mess. Balance area, failed breakout, opposite end, breakout to the upside, balance area, breakout to the downside, pass through previous balance, create a new balance area below it. This, I don't even know what to call it. Breakout to the upside, new balance area, breakout to the upside, new balance area, breakout to the upside, new balance area, breakout to the downside, pass through the previous balance. What are we probably doing? Creating another balance area, right? It's just like this whole area has been such a mess. Why wouldn't we expect more messiness? But it is, it does start to feel like I get your opinion that this could be the market starting to create some strength here. But I just think sideways for now. All right, so as the support at 80 breaks, the next support is around 75. And then the last major support is around 69. If that breaks, I am bearish to head down towards yesterday's lows. So I am expecting the buyers to step in here and create some support. And of course, now the next question is, do we turn previous support, that support we had around 80 here, this little node of volume, do we turn that into resistance? So now when the market tries to get back up there, is it stuck and it can't pass back through there? That would be a little bit bearish to see. All right, so we turned the half back into resistance. That's bearish. And we're now turning the first major support, 3780, into resistance. That is also a sign of bearishness. So the last potential support for the market, in my humble opinion, if they want to keep chopping around, is this node right here around 69. They can pop down there, find support once more. But if that resistance holds, they're probably going to break this market lower. Can they hold it? All right, so now we're testing that resistance around 80. Does it continue to hold? The thing that just caught my eye, my dude, my seller is still up here waiting at 37.90. The market may need to go fill him first before they can make any bigger move down. All right, so 74 breaks. We're looking to test 69, 68, 69. Does that act as support? And a break of that level increases the odds in my mind. We're heading back down towards Friday's lows as a balance area play. Scooball, Pirate Traders, do you hide less than 100 contract icebergs? Yeah, it's not 100, but it's something like that. Actually. Yeah, 100, 106. That's why sometimes you might see one that starts to pop up as an iceberg. That's like, it's like 20 contracts, 30 contracts, and then it disappears. It means they didn't end up filling more than 100, so I don't even pay attention to them. That's just a bot, a short-term, scalping bot. All right, they're through that first resistance. So now we're looking to test the halfback at 37.85. Looking for resistance there. No, sir. Looks like they want to give this seller a chance to fully fill here at 37.90. So we will look for resistance there. You can just see how they perfectly do this. They get the momentum going down, so they get everybody bearish. Then they pull back up real quick and they take out everyone's stops, right? Then they flip it. So then all these traders that just got stopped out are starting to think, oh my goodness, I got to get bullish. And then as soon as they start to build up, a bullish position here, of course, putting their stops just below, when the resistance holds and they get smacked back down, those same stops, those same traders who got stopped out will get stopped out again. And it'll push right back through. And we'll just get more chop. This is just a market looking to stop out short-term traders. AD Joshua, who are they? It's a great question. They is just everyone. It's you, it's me, it's the guy at Goldman Sachs trading desk. It's everyone in the entire world who is trading this market. Whether they're buying options on the SPX or they're buying underlying shares of Apple or whatever is in the index, all the participants in combination, they are they. Peter, so as a short-term trader, do you stay out or do you still trade and just scalp? Right now, I'm staying out. But I do take scalps sometimes in markets like this if I think we're going to stay stuck in the previous day's range all day. But we don't know that yet. We're only, 30 minutes into the morning. So a little bit of chop before they pick a direction. I'll just let them do their thing and I'll catch the bigger move. As I've said, the bigger move is either breaking the support here around 69, where we're looking for continuation towards yesterday's low, or getting above yesterday's high and then finding new buyers up there, finding support above yesterday's high, which is good for continuation to the upside. But anywhere in the middle here, you're guessing. And I generally don't risk money at a guess. So you see the games they're playing here. They took out 120 stops, came back down. So as soon as they took out those stops, buyers started to step in thinking, oops, I'm wrong. It's going to go higher. Then boop, they pop right back down, get out 30 more. Then those traders do the same thing again. They go, oh shit, I'm wrong. Let me short. And then boop, they pop it back up. They take out 40 more. They're just grinding around to grab stops. But as soon as this guy gets filled, I bet the resistance takes us lower. And says, I feel like we're going to head higher in a few. I would say in my mind, that's the less likely scenario. Certainly possible, of course. We could break out of this either way. Iceberg versus iceberg. Who's gonna win? The support, currently stepping in with 152 contracts, or the resistance, currently standing at 119? Let's test that resistance. He's still selling. Someone's trying to front run him. Oh my God, there's just no liquidity. Come on, guys. You can do it. Just break. All right, so now we're testing the iceberg below, the support iceberg. Okay, so it pushed up. It let this iceberg fill one contract. Then it turned around and headed down. Now it let this one fill one contract, and now it's turning around and heading back up. And why is the C period usually a pivot continuation period? Because the first hour of the day is often where the market is. Oh, my dude deleted it. He changed his mind. The first hour of the day is often where the market kind of sets itself up for the day. So it'll play games like this and chop around. But then if it picks a direction, it can keep going the rest of the day. Or vice versa. If it starts moving a certain way and then it realizes, oh, I don't have the momentum, it turns around and goes the other way the rest of the day. All right, well, they're back through that resistance, so this chop just straight up continues. So now the question becomes, can they turn the half back into support? In the same way, when they turned it into resistance earlier, that was bearish. If they can turn it into support now, that would become bullish. As we just chop it up. All right, looking for some resistance here around 94. All right, B period, leaving behind a poor high, increasing the odds. The market's going to push away from that high, looking for support, and then come back to take out that poor high. fighter pilot. I certainly hope we do the right thing collectively. Elections have consequences. Do the right thing collectively. Where do you live? I feel like the larger the group size, the more of a guarantee a terrible decision will be made. Peter, do I use the default settings for Bookmap? No, I played with all the settings when I first got it. Now this is not me making a prediction. This is just me pointing out a piece of information that I'm noticing that is interesting to me. It seems like all the longs up here are stops. And all the shorts up here are icebergs. So that would imply that they're just pushing the market up here right now to get as many people long as they can so they can chop it right back down. Now, obviously, I don't know. We'll need to wait and see if they can turn half back into support. But that's a little bit fishy to me, that all the buyers are stops and all the sellers are icebergs. Someone's on the wrong side of the market. All right, moment of truth. Can they turn halfback into support, which would begin to build bullish momentum, or do we pass right back through, increasing the odds of continued chop? Can they hold it? Nope. Support breaking at the halfback increases the odds of more chop. I reckon we are looking at a sideways day here inside yesterday's range. Yeah, if we break the A period low, I get bearish here to head down towards yesterday's lows as a balance area type of play. But as long as we stay above that A period low, just more sideways. But if it breaks, pachoo. And of course, not in a straight line like that. In an incredibly annoying, choppy, super difficult all day, you think it's going to reverse and then you just end up down here kind of way. Okay, so now we see this massive, 700 contract iceberg just filled. They just, got all those long contracts. And so we say to yourself, well, if they just filled 700 contracts, why didn't the market go up? Well, now we know that was a taking profit order, probably from some of these shorts up in here, booking in some profits. So that, in my mind, seeing that happen increases the odds of more chop, unfortunately. All right, guys. Well, we are about to hit that magical 10:30 mark when we print the C period, and I say sayonara. Go hang out with all the cool kids on the private stream. You might consider joining the brigade if you wanted to keep hanging out the rest of the day. It's only $10 for a whole month, and you get to, hear these live streams going all day, every day. Even if you feel like you don't need it as a resource, even if there's that one random day where you're a little confused and you wish you could just turn on a live stream and get a second opinion, for $10, having that available to you is a great idea, in my opinion. So the link is down there in the description. We'd love to have you join. If not, we'll see you here tomorrow morning. As far as what to expect for the rest of the day, as I have said, as long as we are inside yesterday's range, just expect more chop. Whichever way they break the initial balance, look for continuation. If they break the initial balance to the upside, look for them to head up and test yesterday's high, Friday's high. If they can bring in new buyers up there, continuation to the upside. If they poke above yesterday's high and come back into the range, look for a trade towards the opposite end, towards yesterday's lows. If the initial balance breaks to the downside, we break that A period low first, look for continuation lower from there. All right. Thank you very much, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Have a good one.